About 85% of all American silent films are considered completely lost, while some extant titles are missing footage. In this regard, Buster Keaton is lucky. All of his independent features and most of the short films are believed to be intact. Nevertheless, the canon still has some holes in it. Convict 13, The Haunted House, and The Love Nest seem to be missing small bits of material, while Hard Luck, reassembled via fragments from film archives across Europe in the 1990s, is lucky to exist at all. Daydreams has not been so fortunate. The first impression most people get from Daydreams is that it is the least of Buster's police chase trilogy, trailing behind The Goat and Cops. For a Keaton two-reeler, Daydreams seems strangely sloppy, even poorly edited. As such, it is largely dismissed as one of Buster's lesser films, often ranking towards the bottom of fan favorites. But the truth is that Daydreams is actually a three-reel comedy that is missing so much footage that everyone, including many film historians, have always assumed it was a two-reeler. The film, as it was originally made, opened with a traditional Keaton gag card, followed by a delivery man pulling up to Renee Adaray's house. He delivers a bouquet from her rich former boyfriend with a note saying he wants to set things right. This missing material explains why Renee wistfully smells the flowers before throwing them out the door. It also foreshadows the end of the film when Buster also wants to set things right, only to be kicked out a window by the girl's father, played by Keaton's real father, Joe Keaton. In vaudeville, Joe Keaton was famous for his high kicks and his ability to send his son flying with a shoe to his backside. This talent appears to have been the main reason for casting Joe Keaton in Daydreams. Unfortunately, his kick at the end of the film is also part of the missing footage. Even more bizarre, most of Renee's daydreams about Buster's supposed success, as opposed to his character's real-life failures, are also missing. In short, Daydreams lacks the daydreams of its title. Because the material immediately before and after Renee's daydreams are still intact, it seems apparent that, for some reason, those scenes have been deliberately removed. Perhaps the most interesting missing material from Daydreams are 3 minutes that were in all likelihood filmed in San Francisco. There are 2 reasons to think why the remaining holes in Daydreams happen here. The first involves an understanding of how Buster Keaton's comedy films work. Buster's films are not just a series of gags. Like Isaac Newton's laws, they are always a series of causes and effects. Everything in a Keaton film happens for a reason, and every action has a cause. So Buster having all that money at the end of the Chinatown chase doesn't make any sense. It's an unneeded loose end that Daydreams never explains. The next time we see Buster, he's being chased by 30 of San Francisco's finest. Why is he being chased? Again, the film gives no reason. Usually, for Buster to be chased by an army of cops, the cause had to be pretty outrageous. So Daydreams has a cause without a result, followed by a result without a cause. There should be a sequence that logically connects these 2 events, so something is missing. The second reason seems to have been more personal, because it was Buster Keaton's mentor, Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, who, without credit, not only wrote Daydreams, but co-directed it. During the previous 9 months, Roscoe Arbuckle had been a victim in one of the worst scandals in the history of Hollywood. During a Labor Day party held at San Francisco's St. Francis Hotel, a young starlet and costume designer named Virginia Rapet fell ill and died 4 days later. Arbuckle was charged with manslaughter, and after 3 horrendous trials was found not guilty by the jury in less than 6 minutes, only to become the first person in Hollywood to be blacklisted from the screen. Keaton immediately hired Arbuckle, who soon came up with the idea for Daydreams. For unknown reasons, and despite ample places to film a chase in Los Angeles, Keaton took his unit more than 400 miles north to shoot on location in San Francisco. Most of this chase concerns Buster's traveling back and forth on the Powell Street cable cars. In 1922, The principal purpose of these particular cable cars were to service San Francisco visitors traveling about from this location. However, as no footage of Keaton shooting at the St. Francis is known to exist, the possibility is purely conjecture. It is possible Buster simply found the location to be an interesting change of pace. Or maybe not. Buster may have gotten permission to film on the streets of San Francisco during this visit by Frisco's police captain, Charles Goff, and police chief, Daniel O'Brien, to the Buster Keaton studio. Taken during the production of My Wife's Relations, shortly after the Arbuckle trials. In an interesting coincidence, Goff and O'Brien happened to be the same two men that arrested and imprisoned Roscoe Arbuckle on September 10, 1921. That they would be involved in Roscoe Arbuckle's first post-scandal project makes whatever happened with Daydreams all the more puzzling. So what was in those missing 3 minutes? Damn fino. But it certainly leaves one with some ideas. And the dark thought that missing film may not only be lost through neglect, it could be missing on purpose, and even possibly censored. Regardless, Daydreams remains an enigma.